In this video, we're going to take a look at another example of integration by parts. We're going to do a fairly simple one here, pretty similar to the one in the previous video, and that is the integral of x sine x. So here, right, for integration by parts, the first step is to pick u and dv, right? And if you remember in the previous video, we talked about the LIAT guidelines for picking, right? Here we have for picking u. Here we have x, right, which is just an algebraic function, a power function, right? And here we have sine x, which is a trigonometric function. So the algebraic functions in that list, right, LIAT, come before the trigonometric ones. So we would pick u to be x, right? And that pretty much forces dx to be sine x dx. Okay, and again, just to check here and make sure that we're on the right page, is that if we multiply u and dv together, right, it's absolutely required that that be everything in the integral, and it sure is in this case. Okay, so those are legitimate choices for u and dv, right? And then once you pick those, the next step is to calculate du and v, right? So we would take the derivative of u, and here we would take the antiderivative, right, to figure that out. And so if we take the derivative here, du, the derivative of u is 1, du, the derivative of x is 1, dx. Here we're taking the antiderivative, right? So the antiderivative of 1 dv would just be v, right? And here the antiderivative of sine is minus cosine, right? Okay. And so next up is go to the formula for integration by parts, right? The integral u dv is uv minus the integral of v du. And so again, we have all of those things. We have u, we have dv, we have du, and we have v, what they are all in terms of x. So we would just make those substitutions. So u is x, dv is sine x dx, u is x, that goes here, and then v is minus cosine x, so I just wrote that as minus x cosine x, and then this minus, right, and then v is minus cosine x, and du is dx. Okay, all right, so that's what we get, and this one can be simplified a little bit, so you need to go ahead and do that. Those two minuses will just make a plus here. If I pull out this negative sign, right, I have a minus, which is just a plus here. So that's how I got the plus. And then now I just need to do this integral, right? And the integral of cosine is sine. And don't forget to put the plus c. And that's it for this example.